Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Mary Angeline. This is a requested practice from one of my students and friend. Her name is Jamie, and she is with child. She is pregnant, which is super exciting. She has requested for me to, create some classes while she goes through the journey of pregnancy. So no, I'm not personally pregnant, but this is specifically for her and anyone out there that is on their pregnancy journey. Or if you just need something maybe a little slow and steady today and you're not pregnant, then great. This is a perfect class for you too. So today we will need one block. The premise of this class is create space to create life. So obviously, as when you're pregnant, your body shifts and changes a lot. Things are moving inside to create space for the baby, which is creating life for the baby. So today's practice is nice, slow, and steady. We'll use a block. We'll take our time, come into our breath and our body. So at any point, if anything doesn't feel good, then of course, don't do it. And if you have any questions about modifications or other things that you can do that I might not offer during the class, then feel free to comment below and I'll get back to you on those. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and I'll meet you in child's pose with the block underneath your forehead. So we'll take a nice wide-kneed child's pose so the belly can rest between the thighs, the forehead on the block. A few options for your hands. You can place your hands next to the block, kind of like you're squeezing the block, or you can walk those arms out, forearms down. I personally prefer hands holding onto the block as I let my forehead rest. And just take a moment to rock your head side to side a few times. So you're massaging the space between your eyebrows. You're allowing this to release any tension that might be held in the eyebrows. And as you continue these rocks, we're inviting in breath. We're inviting in space. Slow the rocks down. Take a generous breath in through the nose. And a generous breath out. Again, deep breath in. Deep breath out. Tuck your chin to your chest and slowly round up the spine. You're going to take your block now underneath your booty. So bring your knees and thighs together and then take the block either mid-height or low height. And as you sit onto the block, the feet frame the outsides of the block. So this should feel pretty supported for the hips, creating a little space through those hip flexors. And just rest your hands either palms up on the thighs, or if you'd like, hold on to belly. Close the eyes down. Take a moment here to connect not only with yourself, but with baby. Connect with a full and deep breath. And connect with the magic that you are, right? You are creating a human being. All that is the essence of you is moving into this child. So let's sit here for just a bit longer, sitting with gratitude, with patience, and with this spark of life. Slowly begin to blink the eyes open. Reach both arms up towards the skies. Feel that nice stretch along the sides of the body. As you exhale, bend your elbows, cactus the arms, spread the fingers, lift the back of the heart, hug the shoulder blades towards one another. Melt your fingertips towards your feet or your ankles. Tuck your chin to your chest. Just round the shoulder blades a bit. Then sweep your arms forward, up. And now open the knees a little wider if they're not already wide. A little more space for the hips. Let's repeat the arms. Exhale, bend the elbows, spread the fingers, lift the back of the heart. Melt the hands down towards the ankles or the heels. Tuck your chin. Gentle round of the upper back. Nice stretch to the back of the neck. One more time, friends. Inhale, reach your arms forward and up. Exhale, bend your elbows. Fingertips towards the feet. Tuck the chin around. Both arms reach up. This time, bring your hands behind your head, elbows nice and wide. Draw the elbows back. So we're broadening across the collarbone. You should feel this through your underarms a bit. And I didn't know earlier, but if following my breath cues doesn't feel good, then don't just disregard them and follow your own breath cues, all right? So with the elbows drawn back, tap your left elbow towards your left hip. You'll feel a nice stretch to that side body. Let's breathe into the right side for about 2 to 3 cycles of breath. And as you breathe into that side, actively press the back of the head into your palms. So we're staying broad across collarbone. Moving up through center and over to the right, drop the right elbow towards the right hip bone. Left elbow starts to point up towards sky. Being very mindful that we're not tucking and rounding, but we're really pulling everything back. Nice side body stretch. Slowly bring it back to center. Interlock your hands behind you now for a chest expansion grip. Roll your shoulders back as you straighten your arms. Puff up the heart. Turn the gaze up. Take the gaze forward now. Bring your hands to the mat. Take your block, place it off to the side, and we're coming into a tabletop. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips, gaze down. Strong and straight arms. Heavy through the belly, lifted tail, lifted chest for cow pose. Let's sit here for a moment in this cow pose. Feel a nice lift through the heart. A nice stretch across the belly. And depending on where you are in your pregnancy, things are obviously stretching there already, so if it feels too intense, don't drop the belly as much or come back to neutral. Let's counter this by rounding the spine. Cat pose. Press the shoulder blades up towards the sky as you tuck your chin to your chest. Ground down a lot through your shins and through your fingertips. Let's flow it a few times. Inhale, cow pose. Take the gaze high. Exhale, cat around your spine. Inhale, cow, really opening up, creating length through the front body. Exhale, cat, rounding it out now, creating length through the back body. Last one here. Inhale. Exhale. Bring it back to neutral. Step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. You might have to move your left hand in a bit and grab your block again. Take the block at the highest height. We want the block on the inside of the left foot. Both hands to that block. Melt the hips toward the block. As you do this, lift the heart and lean the chest back ever so slightly. Breathe here. It's really important that you acknowledge where your mind is. So if there's a lot happening there and it's distracting you, come back to sensation. What are you feeling in the pose? Simply shift your booty back, straighten out your front leg, flex your foot. So you have this block as support. If you feel good and comfortable with the hands down on the ground, awesome, take that. Otherwise, hands on the block, a little support. Rebend that front knee, press the hips forward. Again, send the pelvis back, a little wide half split here, and pelvis forward for a lizard. One more time, straighten it out. Rebend. Now take your back leg, take a little kickstand. So right heel in line with the right knee. The shin is parallel to the top or the back edge of the mat. Walk your left foot to center. Lift yourself up to a modified warrior 2. Arms are out to a T, gaze over the front hand. Take a deep breath in, turn the palms up. And as you exhale, draw the left hip back a bit so that you're nice and stacked over the right side. Keep the stability through the lower body. Reach both arms up on the in-breath, palms together. Tuck your chin, bring your hands towards the ground. They may or may not touch the ground, but the arms are straight round through the back. Inhale, return to neutral. Exhale, warrior 2 arms. Let's repeat that. Inhale, arms high, palms together. Exhale, round. Bring the fingertips slightly down. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, arms out. Now move your block on that diagonal line so that your fingertips, the next 2 rounds, will touch the block. Arms reach high. Inhale, palms touch. Exhale, fingertips to the block as you tuck your chin. Inhale, arms go high. Exhale, arms to a T. Last time here. Inhale, arms up, palms together. Exhale, fingertips down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms to a T. Let's take the block now into the right hand. Place it at the back of the mat. And then straighten out your left leg, turn your left toes towards the right, so we're in a gate pose, arms out to T. The block is behind you at the highest height, right? We'll take the right arm, back arm to the block, stretch that left arm up and over. Modified side plank. If the block feels too high, you can always adjust the height. And of course, you can bring the hand down to the ground, but especially if you are carrying a child, if you're pregnant, be sure that you take the ego out. It doesn't matter if you were able to bring your hand down or not. What matters is where you are in this moment. So how are you feeling here? Where do you feel the stretch? Does it feel safe? Does it feel comfortable for you? We're creating length, we're creating space, especially through that side body. Slowly bring it up to neutral. Take your hands now in front of you and bring your booty down towards your right heel. So think of this as a single leg child's pose. Take your block again in front of you now, or taking it underneath the forehead like we did when we started in child's pose. If you need to turn out this right knee so that your belly rests between your thighs, that's perfect. This is a nice stretch for the inner thigh on that straight left leg. Breathe here. We'll pause here for a bit. This is one of those poses I feel like I could stay in forever, and hopefully it feels really comfortable and good for you also. It's a nice balance between the stretch and the rest and the grounding of that right leg. So it's a stretch to the left side, heavy through the right side. We will move on though, unless you want to stay, of course stay, but we'll bring it back up to neutral. And now lift your booty up. Return those left toes forward. Take the block to the top edge of the mat. Plant your hands. Step your left foot back to your tabletop where I first started. This time we'll take C curves. So take your head and your tail over to the right as if they were going to touch together. Then take it over to the left. Left side contracts, right side lengthens. Again, to the right and to the left. One more time to the right. One more time to the left. Bring it back to neutral. Pause here. Let's grab a hold of the block, place it on the highest height, and step the right foot to the top of the mat. Block on the inside of that foot, both hands on the block, unless, of course, you'd like to keep the hands down. These first cycles of breath, melt your hips towards the block, lift the chest up. Should feel really delicious in the left hip flexor, even through the right outer hip a bit. Slow and steady breath. And if you feel your breath being held, if it feels like too much, always back off a bit. Right? Going back to the body is changing. So kick that ego out. Doesn't matter what you did prior to your pregnancy. Honor where you are in this place here as you create space to create the life that's right inside of you. Let's straighten out the front leg. Pull those toes back for a little half split. Then re-bend the knee, press those hips forward. Again, straighten hips back, bend hips forward. We'll take this 2 more times. Moving through a stretch through the hip flexor and a stretch through that front hamstring. The next time you're back to neutral, place your block off to the side. We'll need it in a bit. And then let's actually keep the block before we move. So kickstand the back foot first before you move that block. It'll just get a little more stability if you need it. Then bring the block off to the side, bring yourself up. You may notice this right foot not even. You can move it before, after. That part doesn't matter as much. But we're in our modified warrior 2, arms reach out. Spiral this right inner thigh up. Think of your inseam of your pant rotating up towards the sky. Then turn your palms up. Sit here nice and strong. Powerful modified warrior 2. We'll take both arms high. Deep breath in, palms touch. As you exhale, tuck your chin, round your shoulder blades. Bring your fingertips towards the ground. They may not touch. It doesn't matter. Inhale, take the arms high. Exhale, open the arms out. Inhale, reach the arms up, palms touch overhead. Exhale, round your shoulder blades. So I'm trying to get a stretch between the back of the shoulder blades and your head. Bring it up to center. Arms out. Now grab your block, place it in front of you where your hands would have touched the ground. Take the arms high. Inhale, palms together. This time reach for your block as you exhale, fingertips towards the block. Inhale, return both arms up. Exhale, open the arms out to a T. Last one here. Inhale, both arms high, palms together. Exhale, tuck the chin, bring the fingertips to your block. Inhale, return. Exhale, arms out. Grab a hold of your block now. Place it at the back of your mat. Then straighten out your right leg, turn the toes. This is our gate pose. We're going into modified side plank. So block underneath your back left hand. Right arm reaches overhead. You, of course, can adjust the height of this block if you'd like, or touch the ground instead. We'll pause in this modified side. The more you can reach the top arm up and over, kind of create an rainbow-like shape through your body, you'll feel the spaces between your ribs stretch a tad more. Slowly bring yourself back up to center now. Take your block with you. We'll place it on the ground as you sit onto your left heel. This knee might have to open out to the side. That's okay. Bring your hands to your block, forehead to your block, and pause in this variation of child's pose. Breathe here. Very slowly begin to lift yourself back up. Lift the pelvis, return the foot to that modified warrior two. Take the block to the front, step it back to your tabletop pose. In our tabletop, open your feet, knees a little bit wider so you have a nice wide stance here. Send the right arm up towards the sky. Let the shoulders open. Maybe even let the hips shift a bit. And take giant circles with this top right arm. Reverse the circle of that right arm. Release the hand down. Let's switch sides. Anchor through the right. Take the left arm up. Let the hips even shift a little bit. That's okay. And start to circle out this left arm. Reverse the circle. Bring it back to neutral. Let's get into down dog just for a moment. Hands under the shoulders. Walk the knees back a tad so your knees are not directly over your hips, but they're behind your hips. Tuck the toes under. Lift the knees up. Straighten the legs as much as feels okay. And start to bend one knee and then switch to the other. So we're treading out the feet. You may have heard this as walking the dog. The feet can be as wide as feels comfortable for your belly. Use breath. And then just take a moment to pause. Feel that length through the back body, so press the ground away through the shoulders. Nice stretch through the hamstrings and the calves, creating space and length through the back body. Breathing here for just a bit longer. Let's take our gaze now towards our fingertips. Walk the feet to the hands at the top of the mat. Grab your block, place it underneath your booty in your yogi squat. Knees out, toes out. So we're sitting on our block for now. We'll drop into the pose without the block in just a moment. But for now, I'd like you to take your hands and press your knees wide. So you're really driving those knees back. Now sneak your right elbow to the inside of your right thigh. Press that knee away as you take a bind with your left arm. So your left arm comes behind you, bend the elbow, sneak the fingertips to the inner thigh, roll the shoulder back. So top side, shoulders rolling back. Bottom side, elbows pressing that knee back. Breathe. Begin to unwind, move into our second side. This side now, left elbow presses the left thigh away. Right arm comes behind, fingertips to the left inner thigh as close as you can. If you're not hooking the fingers, it's okay. But focus on rolling the right shoulder back as you drive the left knee back. Watch if you're holding your breath or not. And begin to unwind. If you feel really good here and you want to stay here with the block, stay. Otherwise, we are going to come off the block just for a moment. Let gravity drop us heavy into our hips. But as the hips drop, we keep those knees driving back. So think weight into the outer edges of your pinky sides of your feet. Nice lifted heart. Any arm variation that you would like, that feels good. Where is that breath? Where is your mindset? Where are your thoughts? How is baby feeling? We'll now re-slide the block underneath the booty at the lowest height. Bring your legs out in front of you a tad so you're more stable. Take your left knee down to the ground. Take your right knee down to the ground. So you're in a butterfly pose, but we're seated on the block, so we're allowing gravity to help us a bit here, dropping the knees heavy with an elevated pelvis. For the most part, this should actually feel a little bit better, but if it doesn't, you can remove the block and just come back into a traditional butterfly pose. Holding onto your knees, pull your heart up, close your eyes down, breathe here. Slowly blink your eyes open, straighten out your left leg. Plant your right foot on the ground now, knee up. Open the foot a little bit wider so you have space. Even your left leg can go more towards the diagonal rather than straight in front of you. We'll turn towards the leg and just take a gentle fold forward towards the straight leg, that is. Slowly walk the hands back. Let's switch sides. Bend the left knee, plant the foot, take the right leg out to the side, turn towards that right leg, and take a gentle fold towards straight leg. Let's bring it back to center. We're coming off the block, so I'd like to bend one knee, plant one foot, and then lean to one side and remove the block. If you have a better way of coming out, then come out your way. But we will meet in a kind of like in between a wide straddle and a seated forward fold. So legs may be as wide as your mat. If you need them a little bit wider to accommodate for belly space, that's obviously okay. Take your block in front of you. Start to lean forward. Feel the hip crease, right? So we're leaning forward. You should feel a difference in the hip crease. If we lean back, there's more space. If we go forward, we're closing off the space. Take it as far as is comfortable. The block is there for your forearms at any height, of course, or for your forehead. Pause here. Slow, steady breath. Slowly begin to bring yourself up. Let's bring our knees and thighs together, feet flat, knees bent. Lie down onto your back. Take your block with you, lift your hips up, slide the block underneath your sacrum for a supported bridge. You can keep the legs in neutral, which means knees point up, toes point forward. Or if you'd like to get a little more openness, space along the lower back, take your feet wide, let your knees kind of fall in towards one another. Hands rest on the belly. Pausing here. If this does not feel good for the body, you come onto your side, or left side, and pause there. We will finish our practice in this pose just for a bit longer. Release any control of breath. Just breathe naturally now. If you're still on your block, walk your feet to neutral if the feet are wide. Lift your hips up, grab your block, place it off to the mat. Roll onto your left side. Close your eyes down. We'll pause here for a moment. Press yourself up to seated. Seated in any variation that you'd like. Close your eyes down. Bring your palms together. Rub your hands to create some heat. Place the left hand on the heart, right hand on top of the left. Bow your chin. Breathe in love. Breathe in gratitude for yourself and your baby. And breathe out anything that won't continue to serve you. Get that all out of there. Sitting with the space that you've created, that creates space for the life that you are creating. I want to thank you, and until next time. Thank you, everyone. If you have any questions, comments, or requests, put them down below. If you haven't already, like I said earlier, please like and subscribe. Help me grow this channel, get to more people out there to share my love for movement. And then here's the other video that I filmed for this prenatal series that I'm creating. And if you are interested, I have a membership platform. The name is Kinesi. Kinesi means movement in Greek. It is my heritage, my culture, and it's a library of 200 plus classes. So if you want more, that link's below. You can start with a 7-day free trial. Either way, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.